Hi guys, and welcome back to Movies That Matter with the Viking. And yesterday proved to be a day of redemption for Ray Fisher, a day of correcting the wrongs that he made in his own life in comments he made about Josh Whedon at Comic Con in 2017. Now, Ray Fisher yesterday posted this video, and in the video, he praises Josh Whedon's work on Justice League and praises Zack Snyder for picking the right man to come in when Zack left. So Ray Fisher shared that video yesterday on Twitter, on Vero, on Instagram, and he said, "I'd like to take a moment to forcefully retract every bit of this statement." Now that was a big one yesterday, kind of unexpected, but I'm glad that Ray Fisher did this because, look, 2017 they had to tell lies, they had to tell political answers, they couldn't go against the suits of Warner Brothers. They couldn't. Now maybe someone like Ben Affleck could because he already has his career made for him, but do you think Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, even Gal Gadot could afford to speak up against the hierarchy at Warner Brothers? Like speak up against other directors? No, man, because they have to think of their career. They really do. And Ray Fisher had nothing else really on his filmography. This was his big thing. Justice League, the biggest heroes in the world. So he couldn't bash the film or bash the new director. He couldn't. It would look bad for him and his career. But then Jason Momoa made Aquaman. That made $1 billion. That gave him the right to speak a little more. And he did. He did speak about the Snyder Cut. He praised Zack Snyder and he says the Snyder Cut is a better made film. But he could afford to talk because Aquaman had this hype around it. It had a big audience and it made a lot of money. Gal Gadot was asked numerous times. She talked about it. She didn't talk much, but she did acknowledge the Snyder Cut. But that's because her films were a success and there was a fan base for it. Ben Affleck, as we now see, he praises Zack Snyder and he says he had a great time working on Batman vs Superman, and he says that Justice League had problems. But Ben Affleck can speak out about these things because he's already a big and well-known star. Henry Cavill is Henry Cavill. His answers are all political. You know, he does what his agent tells him, and you have to respect that. But I'm glad Ray Fisher, he took back all the praise he gave to Josh Whedon. And look, Josh Whedon came in, he didn't have to take that job. He came in, he was hired for a job, he came in and he did what he was asked to do. But it failed. It failed badly. And I don't think Warner Brothers or Josh Whedon thought it would fail as bad as it did. Not only with the box office, but also the fan base. And I've said this from the start. Justice League with Zack Snyder would have made a lot more money. You had people who liked Batman vs Superman, Man of Steel that would have come back. You had people who were comic book fans who wanted to see the Justice League. But you also had the hardcore fan base that were behind Zack Snyder 100%. And when we went to see Justice League in 2017 and we realised this isn't the film that we were marketed, this isn't anything got to do with what Zack Snyder would make, we didn't go back for second, third, fourth viewings because we knew it wasn't the film that we were promised. Now, if that film had come out, I for one would have definitely seen Justice League a few times in theaters, the one that Zack Snyder wanted to release. The same way I've seen The Joker numerous times in the cinema because I loved the film. I thought it was a very well done job. But Ray Fisher speaks out and he takes back the praise and he posted it on all his social media platforms. And when Ray Fisher shared this video yesterday, Zack Snyder himself, the director of Justice League, who was wrongfully outdone by Warner Brothers, he liked it. Clay Ennis, a man who works with Zack Snyder on numerous projects, also liked it. So it just shows you that the reshoots on Zack Snyder's Justice League, when he left and Josh Whedon came in and Jeff Johns had to rewrite everything, reshoot everything, it must have been a nightmare. And a lot of people who are Marvel fans or are Josh Whedon fans came in and attacked Ray Fisher for starting to cause drama or for steering shit up or for making Josh Whedon look bad. But basically, Ray Fisher didn't say anything bad about Josh Whedon. All he did was take the praise that he gave him in 2017 back. he retracted the good things he said about him. And maybe to some that might be worse than actually bashing, but Ray Fisher is a good guy, and I followed him over the last few years since Justice League. I've watched him in True Detective. He's a very good actor, but he's also a very good person, very positive person. You can see that on his streams, on his Instagram, and he's very interactive with fans, and he talks, So he's not a toxic person. He's not whatsoever. But a lot more information is coming out about the involvement of Josh Whedon or Jeff Johns on the projects in 2017, or even Jeff Johns in 2016. David Ayer has said that Jeff Johns rewrote scenes or changed the story. So look, these guys were getting involved in areas that they probably shouldn't have been getting involved. There was also rumours and reports that Jeff Johns was meddling with Ben Affleck's Batman script. He was giving Zack Snyder notes to write different scenes. These guys were getting involved in places that they shouldn't have been. Now the suits, the Warner Brothers, were telling them to do these things, of course, but all they were was glorified yes men for the suits. That's what they do. Anything that they said to do, they did it without question, and that's what happened back in 2016, 2017. But Ray Fisher, he just gave an opinion. He was truthful. He was honest. That's all you can ask for from people. And look, people don't like the truth. The truth hurts. But Ray Fisher didn't do anything bad yesterday. He just got a video from 2017 saying, I take back what I said about this man. Because you can even see, if you watch the video, the look on Ray Fisher's face. He does not agree with what he's saying. He even looks at Jason Momoa, and Jason Momoa is just kind of like a statue. He's showing no emotion. He doesn't want... You can see that he wants to talk about things, but he just can't at that time. But as time goes on, these guys can talk a little bit more. And now with Zack Snyder's Justice League finally coming, Ray Fisher can acknowledge the Snyder Cut. He can acknowledge that it's coming. And he can acknowledge the things that happened in that film in 2017. He can. And look... What happened was bullshit. His character was butchered. Ben Affleck's character was butchered. All characters in that film were completely butchered. That's why I don't look at Ezra Miller or Ray Fisher and what they did in the role in 2017, because it wasn't what they had planned. It wasn't what Zack had planned. It wasn't what they had for their idea to create these characters. So finally next year we will get to see that, and then we can judge whether they are good incarnations of these characters or not. So until then, we can't really judge them, but all we can judge is their comments. And look, they've been truthful, they've been honest, and that's all you can do. And the Marvel fans and the Josh Whedon fans coming and attacking him, saying, well, he made Buffy and he made Firefly, whatever that show was. Look, that's okay. And as Chris Vaughn said, great people, or people can make great stuff. They can be great artists, but if they're shitty people, they're shitty people at the end of the day, and that's a fact. Now, you can look at people who have had controversy throughout their career, whether it be Mel Gibson, Kevin Spacey, very, very good actors. Mel Gibson, a fantastic filmmaker. But do I agree? Do you agree with the actions they've made in their personal life? Not at all. No way. We can still appreciate that they're good directors. I like Age of Ultron. Avengers is okay. But it doesn't stop me saying that what they've done, what they've said, is bad. Now, I had people coming in and saying, what's your problem with Jeff Johns? My problem with Jeff Johns is that what he did in 2016, 2017 to David Ayer and Zack Snyder, a person who is a comic book writer, an artist, a man who can create panels, comes in and tells David Ayer, a man who made Fury, Zack Snyder, a man who made great films, what to do and how to make scenes. Jeff Johns, who has no filmmaking experience whatsoever. Jeff Johns was involved in the 2011 Green Lantern film, where it said that they were writing scenes on the spot for the film. Man, I'm pissed off at that. I can appreciate the work that Jeff Johns has done for the comic book genre. I can appreciate his work on Titans, which I really love. I can appreciate that he's getting praise for Stargirl. I can appreciate those things, and I can enjoy those shows and them things that he's involved with. But if I disagree with his actions towards Zack Snyder, towards David Ayer, then I can disagree. I don't have to sit there and say, oh, well, he did this good, so I'm going to like him. I can have an opinion. I don't know Jeff Johns personally, so I don't know if I can like him as a person. But all I can to judge is the work that he's been involved with and the things that he has done. And I agree with the great things that he's done, but I disagree with what he did towards Zack Snyder and David Ayer. And David Ayer has come out and said what he did. Zack Snyder has like numerous posts got to do with it. He's like numerous posts got to do with Josh Whedon. And Jeff Johns' days at Warner Brothers are numbered, got to do with big, high budget films. You think he's ever going to work with Zack Snyder again? No way. You think he'll ever work with David Ayer? No way. Ben Affleck? No way. These men won't work with him in the future because of what they've seen, the contact that they've come in with him. Now, look, Jeff Johns, very good at creating comic book stories. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. As I've said, I like those shows he's been involved with. But it does not give him the right to tell Zack Snyder what to do or go behind Zack Snyder's back. Now, saying that, Jeff Johns or Josh Whedon hasn't had a job since 2017. And this is a man who cracked $1 billion on 2 films back to back, the Avengers films. And he hasn't been able to get work since. He was booted from Batgirl. So it just shows you that what happened on Justice League isn't just a fan made up thing. It's real. Studios think it's real too, or they would hire him for more work. And he hasn't been involved with anything since. And he hasn't been attached to anything big since Batgirl. So look, I appreciate Ray Fisher's honesty. I really do. He has the utmost respect for Zack Snyder, the man who has given him this career. The exact same with Jason Momoa. Ben Affleck has huge respect for him also. So look, Ray Fisher, he can do that. His character was absolutely butchered in 2017. Thank God for 2021 we'll get to see his real incarnation. But Ray Fisher and Zack Snyder weren't the only ones to add to this fire yesterday. You can remember in the 2017 Justice League film where the Flash falls on Wonder Woman's boobs. Very much in the same tone, and it's the exact same as Age of Ultron when the Hulk falls on Black Widow's boobs. The exact same thing. But the stunt double of Wonder Woman, of Gal Gadot, who was made by Josh Whedon to do that scene because Gal Gadot wouldn't do it. She wouldn't let Ezra Miller fall on her boobs. Because it's such a stupid scene. You have this Amazonian, this godlike figure like Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman lying on her back for a character to lie on her boobs after she being so inspiring in Batman vs Superman, the Wonder Woman solo film. She wouldn't do it. Her stunt double, who doesn't have as much power as, say, Gal Gadot, had to do that scene, and she spoke out yesterday under Ray Fisher's Instagram post. Caitlin Burles commented LOL, same. So she was in a bad situation with Josh Whedon as well, a bad experience on the reshoots of Justice League, and she was made to do that ridiculous scene because Gal Gadot refused to do it. So I do believe that more things will come out about Josh Whedon's experience or time on Justice League and Jeff Johns in the future. You already have David Ayer saying stuff. You got Zack Snyder like in post. You got Ray Fisher doing this. You got the stunt double doing that. So more stuff will come out about what happened on the production of 27 Justice League, and it will make for an interesting documentary someday if they ever do it. But look, it'll just show you that people will try and defend anything. But when people were saying that Ray Fisher was wrong yesterday by doing this, they refuse to acknowledge these kind of things. And the stuff with Gal Gadot and also the stuff with Black Widow, it just doesn't, it's stupid. There's no need for it. Maybe in a goofy comedy, but not in a superhero film where kids are looking up to these characters and these inspiring characters where it makes kids want to do better. No. But that was what happened yesterday, and as I said, I'll stand by Ray Fisher and what he did yesterday. 100%, I think he was absolutely right. Now, some other news. JusticeCon, the fan-created event, which will take place on July 25th to 26th, and I can't wait for it. But a new trailer dropped for it yesterday, a trailer which was pretty cool. Now, we all remember the Batman vs Superman scene where Diana gets the file from Bruce and she gets to look at her picture, and she also sees the other metahumans. She sees Flash, she sees Aquaman, Cyborg, and she looks at it. But for the JusticeCon, they kind of tweaked it a little bit. They changed it. So what they did, they had Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman looking at her screen, looking at a file that she just got. And she opening up some files, and you get to see who's going to be appearing at JusticeCon, who the special guests are, and also some new guests that were announced. So the trailer started off with Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman looking at the screen and being confused or being compelled by what's going on the screen in front of her, just like in Batman versus Superman. If you haven't checked out this trailer yet, give it a look. I'll have the link in the description. Definitely go check it out. It's pretty well done and pretty cool. So we get to see who's going to be appearing at JusticeCon, and Darkseid himself, Ray Porter going to be a special guest. He does the voice for Darkseid. He did some motion picture for the character also. We'll definitely get to see him in 2020-21. Also, Jay Olivia, the director of The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2 animated films, also a storyboarder. He has seen the Ben Affleck Batman script, says the best Batman script of all time. He's worked with Zack Snyder numerous times, and he's a very talented artist also. So I can't wait to see Jay Olivia at the event. I love his opinions on Twitter, but the main man himself, Zack Snyder, will also appear. The man that we all love, the man that we're all behind going into 2021, and definitely he's going to make it a great year for us with 2 films hopefully coming out, Army of the Dead and Zack Snyder's Justice. I wonder what he will bring to the Justice Con event. Also, we got some journalists there. We got Sean O'Connell, we got Chris Swan, we got the one of the Farouk brothers, we got Jonita Davis. So it's going to be interesting to hear all things for those people too. Sean O'Connell, of course, the author of the #Release the Snyder Cut Movement book. Chris Swan, a big Snyder Cut supporter over the last few years. The Farouk brothers have a great YouTube channel. Definitely check that out. And Jonita Davis writes some very interesting things about the Snyder Cut over the last few years. It's going to be interesting to see those people who have had an influence on the movement talk. And some new guests that have been announced. We got Mighty Pegasus, the man who was chosen by Zack Snyder as that fan art winner. Great piece of art. We got Beaver Mighty, we got Nemo 5877, and we got Butterbar. So those guys are new confirmed guests for that. It'll be interesting to see the artists talk. I have huge respect for artists. I think it's an unbelievable talent to have, to be able to create something from your mind onto a page with a pen or paint or whatever they use. And I think it's absolutely amazing. But also, Ink to the People, the man who the co-founder Todd Richheimer will also be in attendance. We've got the National Fundraising Director of ASFP, Ashley Alberto. She will also be in attendance to talk about all things got to do with the fundraising that goes on. And also, let's not forget the three people, that have hosted this and made this event possible. We got Cole and Nana from the Nerd Queens. We also got Megan as well. So they've done a great job to organize this event, and I absolutely can't wait. We can look forward to 2 big DC events in the future. We got Justice Con at the end of July, and then we have DC Fandom coming also. So that's big things to come for DC fans. And will Zack Snyder bring any storyboards? Will he bring any images? Will he bring a trailer for Justice Con going forward? We don't know yet, but we definitely know he's going to be there. He's going to be talking about Justice League in some capacity, so that should be enough for us fans. And I can't wait to hear Ray Porter talk more about his role as Darkseid, and of course Jay Olivia himself. You definitely go follow him on Twitter. He has some strong opinions, not afraid to tell the truth. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on Ray Fisher speaking out and taking back his praise for Josh Whedon. Also, how much hype do you have for Justice Con? Are you looking forward to it? And more guests might be announced as well. We'll have to wait and see, but it all looks good and positive stuff. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, come follow me on all the social medias. Let's talk about movies. That's what we love doing. Until next time, guys, Ray Fisher is Cyborg.